Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pinnacle's Producers Podcast. Today we have Solo Riches. He is an audio engineer and A&R. He's engineered for Lil Durk, Gunna, Lil Keed, PNB Rock, Madeintyo. The list goes on. So let's just get right into it. Welcome, Solo Riches.
Yo, my name is Solo. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an engineer and A&R. Um, and yeah, I've had an interview previously with Pinnacle. Look forward to see what else we can get into today.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm very excited because first, it's been some time since we last spoke, and in that time, I've seen your, certain things you've been doing, certain steps you've been taking. Obviously, I don't know all the details, and that's, I want to get into that today. But yeah, I mean, I'll just ask you, how have things been? How have things been? It's been some time.
They've been really good, just progressing over the years and, staying focused and just, you kind of, learn as you go almost if you're not like, I've only been pretty much doing it like professionally for probably 5 years now. So, or this is my fifth year. So, I'm excited, about my career and where it's going and, what I've already been able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about, connecting the right dots and staying confident in yourself.
Yeah, man, that's huge. And I feel like with someone with your connections, because I feel like you've built so many connections over the years of doing the mixing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like that's helped your current endeavors?
Oh man, connections are, I mean, it's almost who you know.
Yeah.
Of course, talent helps.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just meeting people, networking, getting connected it just opens up so many doors that you wouldn't even think about. And it's just like, as you keep getting, higher and higher on the ladder, you meet more and more people, you start learning other things and just, it's really it's everything for real. Connections. They're everything.
Yeah, man. And to fill everyone in, including myself, I mean, you mentioned on the last episode that we talked, you said that you were really interested in trying your hand at A&R, at A&Ring. And I remember at the time that was super interesting to me, and I didn't know where you'd go with it, but fairly quickly you kind of pivoted and started to work a lot in that area. So what prompted you to even consider going in that direction?
I mean, even when I like first started doing music, I always like, I'm somewhat antisocial if I don't know you, but majority is I just like connecting people with other people who can help. I mean, I'm always kind of to lend a helping hand. I think that's how it started. Which I didn't even consider A&Ring at first, which it probably wasn't. It was just me, helping people or doing what I can or recommending people. But really what, kicked it off is like, okay, I like doing that. And as I got, further and further in my engineering career, I started meeting more people and, it just became a bigger scale than it was at first. And then really though, what glued it all together is because you can't be at least an A&R like me without an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I found an artist I really, really believe in. And she kind of already has, her own thing going even before me. So it just, the two of us together just like, it pretty much clicked. So it was just, it's a mutual, working relationship. Like what do you call it? We make it easier for each other. So it's just, it makes it helpful.
And what's her name again?
Lean Chihiro.
Lean Chihiro? Bet.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen the name
From
around.
Paris.
From Paris. Okay, I've seen the name around a lot. I didn't want to butcher the pronunciation. That's why I asked you. But yeah, man, she looks super cool. I saw the Coca-Cola commercial that she did, and you mixed that song, right? Am I right in saying that?
Correct.
That's super cool, man. That's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you guys link? How'd you guys meet?
Oh man, it was so random. Like, often I'll just like scroll through Twitter like anybody else, and I was following a few blogs. I think it was Fader. Fader had posted one of her upcoming songs or like a music video she just dropped, and I don't know why. I just kind of, I look on blogs anyway, just occasionally, and I just checked her out, and then like, they had posted her music, and it wasn't even necessarily the music, although it wasn't bad or anything. It's just like her look, her vibe, just everything around her. I was just like, I could see her, being very marketable, see her going places. And I don't know, it just kind of caught my eye. I guess it's just one of them things. And, I didn't think too much of it at first. I was just like, oh, she's dope. Like, I'll follow her and just, keep up with her silently. And then I ended up finding out who her manager was at the time somehow. I don't even remember. This was like in early 2017, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I just DM'd her manager, like, if you ever need beats or whatever, just let me know. And they liked one of the beats I sent. And then I had messaged Lean, like, yo, I'll mix for free at first just to get things started and everything. So it kind of just went like that. It wasn't anything too wild.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of people are, I mean, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's some people very against free work in any capacity. And, what do you think of that? Because I know for me, there's circumstances, there's situations where it could be very helpful.
And that's kind of what I'd say. Like, I get it. Nobody wants to work for free. And if you don't, I mean, that's totally your thing. But me, I just think it's like, especially back in 2017, I was still trying to get my foot in the door. Like, I wasn't like, of course you need money to live, but, it's kind of like an investment, I think, in yourself, really, and the artist. And, I still do stuff here and there for free. Like, it has to make sense, but like, I don't know, it's just necessary at first. Like, if you start off and your first, if you're a producer and your first placement is, $2,000, $5,000, by all means, never work for free. But, a lot of us, that just doesn't happen off the jump. So, I just think if I didn't work for free, I don't know if I would be where I am. Maybe I would. But it just, and I don't even mind it really. I mean, now I'm a little against it, but like,
yeah,
when you're first starting, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, I see you, because I know a lot of people, they just take it a little too far. Even if this person offered, was trying to do that, I wouldn't. And I'm like, right, that's crazy. Like,
and you have to draw the line somewhere. Don't get me wrong.
for sure. Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, that's something I had to learn, is to find out, figure out my worth at whatever point I'm at in my career, and then just draw the line wherever I think is.
Usually I would say, like, first one I'll do for free. Like, I'll say that up front, and then we can figure out something on the back end. And if I don't know, like, I've been in situations too where I just kept working for free, just because it was just what I wanted to do with that particular person or artist. Eventually, like, everybody I used to work for free, like, pays now, or we don't work. So, I think it all comes back around. It really does.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. And other than Lean, are you A&Ring with any other artists right now? I know you've built like a lot of connections. Like, you've definitely moved. It was super cool to watch you do that, honestly, is like, getting beats from producers and sending them out and helping other producers. You helped a couple guys get placements too.
Right.
That's pretty wild.
I got a couple, like one with Lil Yachty and then another one with like Polo G.
That's crazy.
Shad to God.
That's I mean, that's wild, bro. Like, that's still blows my mind. Like, it's not that I'm surprised. Like, you do your thing. You're very good with people. You connect well, and you're just a really good guy. But it's just cool to see. Like, it's cool to see someone that I first knew as a mixing engineer just go to just crazy levels with doing that. Right. So, yeah, man. What are some next steps, man? What are you looking to accomplish in the future? Like, what are some of your goals? Because you're on a fairly new path now, which is nice.
Right. I would say, like, more short-term goals is just, staying consistent, I think, with my artists and just my work in general. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have anything too specific. I would just say, I'm just trying to find new ways to approach things, whether I'm having success in them or not. Like, I feel like, you never want to just have one road, like, because it could be a dead end. Like, I have multiple avenues to maybe one goal. So it's just, I just want to keep attacking those and just keep learning. I'm still learning as I go. I mean, maybe that's selling myself short a little bit, but I just want to see my artist grow. Like, she's fairly young. I think she's 21. Forgive me if she's older, but I think she's 21. And she's still growing as an artist and a person. So it's like, you kind of, when you're working with an artist, you kind of got to adapt their mindset a little bit and understand, like she's, I'm 27. If she's 21, like, I kind of got to relate at least somewhat. I mean, that's not a huge age gap or nothing, but you kind of gotta just being, and it's kind of weird too because like being a friend with her and then being, her A&R or mixing engineer, like you kind of got to separate it a little bit. But but yeah, man, I'm just trying to see her grow and try to help her, guide her to success as well. And then just with engineering, like, I'm just trying to, I still engineer a lot. Like, it's how I make most of my money. Um, but I'm just trying to keep going. Like, I'm a little more selective about who I work with. Um, but I'm still excited. I just, just want to keep punching away.
You said you were selective with who you work with. What's the reason for that?
I mean, it's just like, some people don't have the budget, which, isn't always an issue, but it can be.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, some people just don't take it serious or just they're inconsistent, and it's just I don't really want to make time for that. Like, um, and how I really choose, I guess. I just how I feel about their vibe when they contact me, or if they're recommended from someone, or I look on their pages and it's real professional. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I don't really care how many followers a person has, but if I see professionalism and just I'll work with you. I mean, I'm not like I don't work with anybody. I'm not like that. It's just there's got to be something there for me, because it's like, even if they have the money, sometimes I turn people away because I'm just like, you're just, blindly throwing money at me, which is okay, and your music might be cool. And it's really not even about how good or how, if I like their music or not. I mean, sometimes it can be, but, I'm not going to turn people away trying to make their, dream come true. But it's like, I'm going to put all my energy into it. I got to see something from you as well.
Of course. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. That's something I'm learning too, recently more so. Just like I have the work I could put into so many projects, but I need to make sure that the people that I'm working with are also, feeling the same energy.
And then another thing, it's like, work smarter, not harder. Like, I don't want to be doing 60 projects at once, because it's not one. You might not get my best work if, I have that many projects. And then it's like, I want to be passionate about what I'm working on too. So, that's really all it is.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen, like, I think for me, what it was certain artists think that producers can like make their shit infinitely better, and it's like we can. There's definitely things we can do to level good. Like, if there's a solid or a good song or even an okay song, there's so much a producer can do if they're skilled enough to make it better. But there's just artists that just record like, horrible vocals. They don't know what they're doing, and like there's so much they have to learn, and then they think, oh, my producer will fix it. It's like, yeah, that's not how that works. Unless I'm in there with them, then that's different. I can help you record. But yeah. When it comes to traveling, have you done a lot of traveling? And I mean, I know with COVID and everything, but I know that, obviously a bigger part of making connections and networking, at a certain point, traveling comes into play. Have you done a lot of that? Do you plan on doing a lot of that? What's your kind of outlook on that?
COVID definitely slowed a lot of things down. I haven't traveled too much outside of like personal, vacations.
Right.
But traveling, I can't speak enough to it. Like, I think that's really, I think that's a big reason why I've been able to be successful. Because even when I had really no money, like I was in Chicago, I was in Florida, I was in New York, like I was just everywhere I could be just to get my face out there. Because, being an internet, I don't know, I see producers talking about internet producers, and that's a little, that's fine. People have done amazing things. And that's more possible for a producer, but engineer, you can't really just be an internet engineer forever. You kind of got to put yourself out there. So I just think traveling was so helpful for me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was rough. Don't get me wrong. On a personal level, like I definitely made a lot of sacrifices and everything. But I got to meet so many people, and some of them I still work with today. And like Yachty's brother, I met in Chicago just because I went out there. Like,
Right, right.
stuff like that. It's just like you never know who you're gonna run into. So, and I think people kind of know that already. Like, people go to LA and Atlanta and New York. It's just being consistent with it and doing as much as you can. But yeah, I strongly recommend traveling when you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And on that note, like on networking and on meeting new people, again, you're a great guy. Like you're very good with people. You're very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing I realized is that I was talking to some artists that I'm building, developing, and helping, and I didn't realize how little they knew about etiquette, like online when they're networking online or hitting people up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I told them about it, and when I started to kind of tell them, okay, try this, don't do that, don't message this person, that, they were very surprised at what I was telling them, and I just thought it was common sense. So you've been around in circles that you've seen some fucking top level artists, and then you've seen artists starting out. In terms of etiquette, like what would you say to people up and coming in the music industry that are trying to network online?
I mean, with networking online, at least, like, I would say the biggest thing is, I mean, just be respectful and don't overdo it. Like, don't send them a paragraph. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
short and sweet. And also, like, that's half the battle. And then another thing is, like, you got to do research. Like, you can hit up Wiz Khalifa and hope he DMs you back by all means. Like, I've DM'd big people. The success rate isn't always high. You kind of want to find like they're in a circle. How can because they're more liable to talk to, like people who are low key and stuff. So I feel like, you got to find your target and then, be respectful, of course. And that's kind of how it was like, when I met Lil Yachty's brother, like I went for his brother. I didn't DM Lil Yachty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's just stuff like that. Or DMing the producer of the artist. They may be more inclined to respond. So it's like if you just send a blind DM or email to a huge person, like chances are, I mean, it's not impossible, but chances are, they're probably not going to respond. But yeah, just don't blow them up. Don't consistently message them if they're not messaging you back. Like I'm trying to think of an example. Um, I think I DM'd like Pierre Bourne one time, and I was like, "You ever need an engineer? Hit me up. I'm in Atlanta." That's all I said.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like he ended up knowing one of my managers at the time, and he messaged her, and I had an opportunity to go work for him. I mean, it's just like because if you don't want to annoy people, like that's the biggest thing. Like if people are messaging me constantly, back to back, it's like I understand. Maybe like I understand I'm not responding. You think message me a bunch will work, but it just annoys me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just be respectful, keep it short and sweet, and be patient. So many people aren't patient. They're
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah.
Actually, that is very true.
I call it being thirsty.
Yeah, man, I don't blame you. I mean, it is thirsty. There's dudes like, and it surprises me because certain people I get, like, there's a lot of young people in the industry. There's some producers that are like, nowadays it's crazy, like 14-year-olds. Yeah, it's crazy. And, so with them, if they're acting a certain way, I get it. They're so young, so if they're talking to me, I'll help, try and get them understanding. But there's some people that just blow my mind. Like I think it's common sense, and it's like I haven't responded in 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
I've gotten all kinds of weird things. I had a guy that added me on WhatsApp, and it's like I don't know. I realized a lot of you know, depending on where you live, but there's some artists that will do that, and so it's whatever. I got used to it, but then, you know, some of the, like, I'll get random messages from them and shit, and it's like, you know, it's very confusing. I'm like, you should know better than this.
Yeah, I get all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had, hey, do you have Gunna's number? Can you send it to me?
Oh
like,
my god, dude! I've gotten all
automatic delete.
Yeah, of course, man. I've gotten shit like that too with Roddy and all that. And like, there was one dude who, like, he was someone, you know, no disrespect to him, he knows who he is. You know, we're still homies, but I remember we were just starting to get to know each other and shit. He knew I was a producer, and he just messaged me one day, and he's like, "Yo, can you send?" Either it was a collab we did, probably a collab, but there's a chance it was just his own beat. And he's like, "Yo, send these to Roddy." I don't even think it was like, "Can you?" It was just like, "Yo, send these to Roddy. I think he'd sound great on them." And I'm like, "Bro, just, it's not the way to do it." Yeah, chill. Exactly. Right. Pure Born, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Got a chance to work with him.
It never actually ended up working out, just because for whatever reason he had to go on a flight and I wasn't available at the time. But you know, other situations, like, you know, have worked out. Like, half of my career when I moved to Atlanta was a DM. Like, you know, my first session ever in Atlanta was with Hood Rich Pabawon off a DM to his producer. Like, you know, TM88 was like a Twitter DM. He actually DM'd me because people were adding me so much. But I mean, it's, you know, it's like big people is possible, but then again, those are like producers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you've gotten some crazy cosigns, man. Like, you've gotten some cool cosigns for sure. I think a lot of the producer community loves and respects a lot of what you do. Because, like, me as a producer, I don't know a ton of mixing engineers. You know, I mainly know producers or artists.
Right.
But you're right in there in the community, like, with all the producers too. So that's pretty cool. And like, you've even helped a lot of them out. Like, even ones that are going to do bigger things now. You know, it's like you were there from the jump. You know, that's pretty cool.
I know. You know who Slime Castro is?
Oh, that rings a bell. I've definitely
he
seen
has
him.
That. He's on that Straightening song by Migos.
Bet, really?
Yeah, I remember, because he was from France. So I remember messaging him months and months ago, you know, about Lean, because she's in France, and just you know, he used to send me beats, and I sent him to. He actually got a placement through me with Scully and Shad to God.
Bet. Okay.
Yeah, and who I worked with Scully a lot, and you know, so it's pretty cool to see him now. You know, shoot, that's the biggest song right now as far as I'm concerned. It's everywhere.
Yeah. No, that's
so it's pretty cool to see that for him.
No, that's really cool, man. That's super cool. Yeah, how did I find out through you? I think I found out about you through Ovi and Tyler. I can't remember which one.
I just talked to Ovi the other day.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you guys are still in touch, you know. I know.
Yeah, you know, we're both a little bit more busier than when we first met.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, both of y'all are so busy now. Like, that's actually really nice to hear. Yeah, we'll see if we can get him back. I know he's busy as hell, but hopefully
he's definitely one to get back too.
Yeah. In terms of recent drops and other things you have coming up, you know, what's on the way and what can we expect?
On the way, I'm still waiting on the song with Shad and Durk. I actually mixed it quite a while ago.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for that one, and I'm real excited about that one, just because Durk, one of my favorite artists, even before I was engineering and things. So I'm excited about that. I actually just had a song drop the other day on the 22nd, a part of a producer did a tape, Chris Clay. And he's got a bunch of artists on there, up and coming artists, I would say. And my artist had a song with Thousand Band Fawny on it. Yeah, so that was pretty cool to see, because I've mixed for Fawny before, and I'm cool with him. And yeah, we had the listening party last night, so he came out, you know, and it was cool to see everybody vibe to the songs and stuff. I just wish my artist was here to enjoy it as well. And then I'm mixing a Street Buds project right now too, if you're familiar with him.
Not familiar with him, but fill me in.
He signed to Quavo
Okay.
on
Oh,
Huncho Records.
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 17, I think, too.
Oh man.
So he has
Okay.
some pretty big. He is. I'm not gonna say too much, but
Yeah.
he's got a pretty good album with some nice features, and I'm really excited about that because my friend connected me with him, Manny. Um, Shout out Manny. He produced, for Key Glock and Dolph and
But
YBN Namir and stuff. So he's killing it right now too. He connected us, and then so I'm excited about those two songs that are upcoming, or them two projects that are upcoming, and then the Fani and my artist that just dropped, all platforms. I had a song drop in March too with Shot and Gunna,
bet.
that I mixed. So, and I've been waiting on that one for a while, so I was
Yeah.
really excited for that one to come out. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of like my most recent ones and upcoming ones. Um, I have a few like bunch of other singles and stuff, but I'm not gonna get into all that.
For sure.
But yeah, those are like the main ones I would say.
No, that's really exciting, man. I need to look into that artist you just told me about that signed to Quavo. What's his
Street
name?
Bud,
Street what?
Street Bud,
Street
BUD.
Bud. Got you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna look into him, man, because younger artists right now are killing it.
Yeah.
And if he signed to Quavo, that's a big deal. So I'm gonna go peep him for sure. Has your artist ever been? Has Lean ever been to the States? Or has,
Yeah, she
okay.
she has. I think like right before I met her, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
She went to LA to shoot a music video and meet up with some friends. I believe that's the only time she's been here. She shot the Summer Hunter. The song's called Summer Hunter video in America, I believe, or majority of it at least. So yeah, I think that's the last time. And she was planning on coming in 2020, but COVID kind of ruined everything. And then we have a travel ban with France, so I can't even go over there right now.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as it opens up, I'm first flight there. I might actually try to stay for half. I don't know. I'm gonna stay as long as I can
For sure.
in France.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that'd be really cool, man. Right in
Yeah, I'm
Paris. Are you
excited.
going to? Would you be going to Paris then? Straight.
Yep.
Oh man, cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Um, I'll switch gears a little bit. What? It's kind of a weird question, but I'm very curious. Like, if you were able to talk to your younger self, let's say, I don't know, 15-year-old Solo Riches. All right.
Oof.
Yeah, pretty young, or we could go a little older. 15, 16.
Well, that's fine. Whatever your question.
Whichever one. But what would you say to him? Like, if you had some advice to give him?
Oh man. Well, back then I was so different. Like I didn't even know, as far as like my career goes, I didn't even know what I do exists. So I guess the biggest thing is just I guess just like you make better decisions.
Yeah.
We're all young and we do stuff, but I guess just maybe playing stuff out a little more. Back then I was all over the place as a younger kid, but I don't know. I kind of always believed in myself, even though I didn't really see a direction back then. But I would just tell them, stay confident. A lot of stuff is temporary, man, especially at that age, like 15, 16, you really don't have any real responsibilities, and it's just like, that's just temporary. You're not an adult yet. You depend on your parents for the most part. So it's just like, don't get too caught up in the now, because at that age, shoot, you don't have any, you're just running around, going to school. And so I guess just, prepare a little better, especially because now I see producers out here 15, 16 killing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just wish I kind of, started at that age, but I had no focus.
Man, that's the thing. Like, I don't like to think in ways of, if like he's younger, damn, like he's starting then, I wish I did that. But it's hard sometimes. Like in this music shit right now, it's hard to not look at.
Like I could have used those years, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. Those dudes, I'm like, and then exactly what you said. You were a totally different person back then. You didn't have the focus. Like even me, I mean, if I was to even go into this music shit and just kill it like they are, even slightly, I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. Like some of these dudes are very disciplined. It's very impressive.
I have no idea. Like I played sports, I watched sports, I just, did kid stuff, went to the park. Like,
Yeah.
I never even thought about music as a career.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, like with school it's one thing, with school, if you're in school, you're told what to do, either you do it or you don't. For these kids to be like starting their own, business virtually, and then being fairly successful at a younger age is
Mm-hmm.
mind blowing to an extent.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it's something. So yeah. What would be some advice you give to up and coming mixing engineers? If they're interested in, that part of it,
Mm-hmm.
what would be some advice?
I would just say do your homework. Like really learn this stuff. Don't half-ass it. Like really jump into it. Be a nerd. Just know as much as you can. Try to like, not everybody has school or anything, but try to like almost like train your ears. I mean, that's kind of hard to do on your own. But there's programs out there. Just basically just dive into it all the way. Like, the more prepared you are, the better it's gonna be for you in the long run. And just but really believe in yourself. Like try not to let any outside noise get you off your focus. Um, and really just do what you can. Like if you need to intern, like don't be lazy. Don't sit back waiting for stuff to happen. Like kind of be you know just go after it, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself and go out there and make something happen. Just know as much as you can about it. Like practice, every day, or at least, most days you should open up Pro Tools. You should open up Fruity Loops, whatever your, choice is. Just really dive into it because, it's a competitive industry for the most part. I mean, you might not feel it at all times, but there's always an engineer right next to you.
Hmm.
So it's just do your part, I guess, in making sure you're solidified, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Even just learning your own craft, a lot of producers, especially, I don't know how it is with mixing, but I would assume it's similar. Like producers go in, they learn things on their own way. I did that a lot, learn by ear. I would try and, well, back then there weren't, the tutorials back then sucked. So like, all the good beats you just had to figure out and, really go into it. So, but
Mm,
it's only now that I'm starting to, I've always been someone that learns a lot. I love to learn. I love to, just get new information about things either that I already know about or just things that are new to me. But
right,
I never really fully did that with music. Like I was always very, focused in school in terms of like if I'm going to go in it, I'm going to go crazy. But I
right.
never did the learning part with music to that extent. So now that I've started to do that, world of difference. Like it's just
Yeah.
insane. So yeah, definitely that's very important. And I also want to thank you because one of the earliest in the past year I've started to mix a lot more because I'm starting to develop artists. I want to, be good at mixing vocals, but I've mixed and mastered some songs, they wouldn't be the best, but they're really good for, I never thought honestly, bro, like I would get to this level in that short amount of time because I always found mixing very hard,
Right.
but it was just that learning curve and I have a ton to learn, but yeah, it just where I'm at, I'm very impressed with. So like you were one of the first people that I hit up to kind of, learn some stuff. We booked a consultation or whatever, booked a lesson and you gave me my, my money's worth and then some. So I just want to thank you for that because that was really cool.
Appreciate that. That's good to hear. I'm glad it helped. If you need an updated version, I'm sure I can teach you a lot more,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's good to hear. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And no, I'll definitely, I'll definitely reach out to you because back then I didn't realize how little I truly knew. Like you, and it wasn't just you. I had some other
Mm,
people teach me, but they would be teaching me things and I'd realize that I didn't even know like the basic, things.
right.
So once I got a grasp on that, and now I have more of a grasp on everything. Now a lot of what other people say and what you'll be saying resonates way more.
Yeah, it make more sense
So
and you can apply it better.
exactly, yeah. But you gave me some real good gems back then too. Um, did I see this might just be me tripping, but did I see you like? Do you produce any tracks any now and then? Like every now and then?
I every now and then. I actually just made a beat today for the first time in weeks. But yeah, I'm still trying to get more into it. I got to be more consistent with it. It's just hard when I'm mixing and traveling and managing an art. Well, A&Ring for an artist. But yeah, I think I've been saying this for a while now, but I'm gonna get more into it as time goes on, just because it's one, I just want to see what I can make creatively, one, and then two, I know there's money, and
Mm-hmm.
three, like I still help people, but it's like I can further my career even by producing, opens up another lane for me. And best believe, like, if I really get into producing like I did engineering, like, my artist is getting tons of my beats. So, I'm more excited about that than anything. But yeah, I just made a beat today, so it's kind of crazy that you said that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's cool, man. I'll have to listen. I'll have to hear some of your beats because.
Yeah, I'll send you some when we get off here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to hear them. I just saw like a producer post. I think I saw him post a beat and it said X Solo Riches, and I was like, what? Like, is he making beats too? That's crazy. So no,
I don't even think I've seen that. So
yeah, bro, it was on either I don't know, Twitter or Instagram, but it yeah. That's cool, man. If you get your beats placed, which I mean you will, I mean with your connections, why wouldn't you? So like that's even better, bro. Like mixing engineer to producer to A&R, that's awesome.
Yeah, eventually, like, I'll probably only mix for like a select group of people.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of already getting there, but I still take outside work. But yeah, I just want to put all my focus into, I think, A&Ring for my artists, mixing for who I mix for, and then producing. I don't think I'm too picky with that. I don't know yet. I don't know yet because I haven't made hundreds of beats yet, and I haven't like thought about it business wise and where I want to take it because I haven't really even started, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited to see what I can get into. I like the beat I made today. I don't know if I love it, but I like it. It's definitely good for not doing anything for weeks.
Yeah.
So,
what are you making it on, FL?
Yeah, FL. I usually just collab right now because I'm not like a savant in FL.
Right.
So I pulled up to my homie's house today. I did the melodies and a few things like that, and then he added the percussion. Yeah, so he kind of puts it all together for me, or whoever I work with. I kind of just lay some stuff out. I'm like, all right, well now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask if you were doing the melodies or just drums, but that's cool to hear that you're actually doing the melodies, because.
Yeah, it's mostly just melodies. I haven't really touched drums. Like, I'll get into. Yeah, I really haven't. Like, I've. It's not like I've never.
Yeah,
but yeah. Mostly I just do the melodies, or I'll like do a shaker or flute or something. But yeah, I haven't really got into drums yet. And part of it is my computer's not loaded up with all that you need. So usually I just pull up on a homie or send it off to someone to put it together. I got a few beats with Playboy Cardi's DJ.
That's dope.
We got like a good chemistry, I feel like. So shout out to him. If you're in Atlanta, go check out he hosts, he's at a club or an event almost every day. So he's pretty cool people. But yeah, we got a lot. He has most of my recent stuff. Just because I don't make it a lot. Like, I'll probably make like 10 melodies in 2 months.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't blame you.
Yeah. So, but as I get more into it, we'll see what I can, come up with.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool to hear, because I know a lot of producers. I mean, I wouldn't consider you're just starting out because you have musical experience, but
right.
Yeah, a lot of them starting out, because there's an abundance of loops right now, they'll just take loops and put drums, which is totally cool, but skill wise, after a certain point that's going to limit them a lot. So it's cool to hear that you're doing the melodies.
Yeah.
I think I might have asked you this question last time, but I'll ask you again because I'm curious, and maybe your answers change a little bit. When you're mixing an artist project, so I guess it would depend on the artist, but how much creative decision are you putting into that? is it a lot of creativity in terms of like really going in and just going into the details, or is it like I'm gonna just let them do what they did, add my work to it?
It really depends on the artist, like you said. That's like the biggest thing. But it really just depends. That's hard to answer because sometimes I'll have 100% control. And then sometimes, they'll tell me stuff or give me hints. But I would always say, like, anybody who I'm locked in with, like, I can pretty much do, unless they specifically have something they don't want me to do, I pretty much have free control. And they might say, you know, we like that, but we kind of want it to remain, similar to what we had, things like that. But I mean, there's never been any pressure. Like, they want me to, the part of the reason they come to me, I think, is for like my sound or my creativeness or whatever you want to call it. But so I've never been pressured into thinking like, oh, I shouldn't do that because they may say something. Like, I've really never thought that. And most of the times, like, I don't know, you kind of develop a chemistry to where you kind of already know what to do. Even if, like, for me and Street Bud, for example, I've only mixed probably like 3 songs for him, but I think I already got a grasp on, kind of where they want me at. And, being that I have sent them 2 to 3 songs and gotten feedback already, but, that kind of told me everything I needed to know. But, I usually have control. And like with my artist, Lean, when I mix for her, she's pretty much just like, look, like we already have an unspoken understanding anyway, but, I pretty much have 100% freedom, and it's a the thing is, it's always a collaborative effort anyway. So, I mean, it's kind of similar to like making a beat, like, your homie might be going one way and you're like, okay, that's dope. But, so, it's really no pressure. Like, that's not even a worry for me. But yeah, I usually have, the right to do whatever. I mean, you just got to have an understanding about what the vibe is. You can't go into it like blind and just do crazy stuff that doesn't even, make sense. Like, if you have a rap song you're mixing, you don't want to mix it like you would your rock music or something. Like, that just doesn't make sense, But, I've been blessed or grateful and thankful that, I usually have all the control I want. I've never been mad at anything that they told me to change. I've never had that,
Yeah.
So.
In terms of lessons learned, what would you say your biggest lesson you've learned like thus far in your career?
Oh man, it's a tough one.
Or one of the biggest. It doesn't have to be the biggest.
I guess just a couple of things that I've learned is just, to be patient. There were times I wasn't patient and it ruined, I don't want to say ruined, it affected my relationship with that group of people who were pretty important. And it just, I think when you're young and you kind of do fall into some success, you're never quite sure. You're still learning, so you're never quite sure where you stand and things. And I would just see being patient is a big one, and it's hard. It's not easy to be patient. Everybody needs money to live. Everybody has goals. Everybody has dreams. Some people are competitive or looking at the next person, what they're doing, and be like, oh, if I could do that. And that's another thing. Like, I would recommend people don't even worry about what he's doing or she's doing, whether they're younger or older. Like, everybody has their own path, and, like, everybody has their own path. And if you just believe in yourself, stay humble to a point and just work, like, all that outside noise doesn't even matter. So just stay patient, keep working, and, keep improving yourself, and all that other stuff doesn't matter.
That's a great answer. One thing that I've seen you carry a lot of, and I think from our previous interview, you showed that, one thing you always had is confidence in yourself. Like, that really doesn't seem to waver, especially some of the stories you've told me. Where do you think that comes from? Do you think, like, have you always had that? Was that something you developed consciously, or what? Where did that come from?
I don't know if I've always had the confidence that I do now. Um, I don't know. I just always like my thought process is just like, all I have is myself. And it's like, everybody gets depressed or gets caught in a rut sometimes. And it's just like, you kind of just got to work your way out of that. Yeah, I can't really speak on when, that happened or if I've always had it, but I don't know. For a long time now, like I was just like, I don't know how, but I know I'm gonna do something. Like I'm not here for no reason. Like there's no way I'm just on earth just to fail or just I just don't it's not even a part of like my thought process. So I think like, I've always had that even before I did music. So then it's like when I had music, I had something to kind of apply it to. And then, I had some early success, which maybe fed my idea that I was right.
Yeah.
But I've had rough patches, more than enough rough patches as well. And even through that, I don't know. I'm actually sometimes confused, like why I've always believed, even when I didn't have anything going on.
Mm,
But I don't know. I've kind of just always been like, look, you can either be down on yourself and just think all these negative thoughts, or you can be positive and just I feel like when you're positive, like, and you're just working, like, you don't even really want to think about what if not, or what if this, or maybe that. Like, I don't, it's hypothetical. So I just think, I just always believed in myself. I've always had a goal of mine, whether it matched other people's or not, that's not my business. But I don't know. I just kind of always was sure of myself, even when it looked unsure.
yeah.
Blind faith, I guess.
Yeah. No, man, it's worked out well thus far. So, I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited to see where the rest goes. Um, I got a quick final, question or two. We'll see.
Okay.
But first one is top three favorite upcoming artists. So, like, yeah, top three favorite upcoming artists.
Hope nobody gets mad at me.
Nah, nah. Well, I'm curious. Let's see.
Well, I'm gonna mention my artist
Of
first.
course, of course.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna save her for last. So first, I would say Young Swerve. His name is.
Young Swerve.
He's
Okay.
out of Chicago.
Bet.
I think he's anywhere from 21 to 22, 20, something in that range. And a close friend of mine, his name is Vito. He manages him. There, he's also from Chicago, and he's just, to me, he's got, other than needing to grow as a person and all that, but I think he's gonna be like, I don't want to compare him, but he's kind of like the next Polo G in my mind.
Right.
Like just every song, every visual that comes out, it's all there for me. Like yeah, it's crazy. Like I think he's gonna be a name people know top of the year. I think something's gonna happen soon
For sure. Very
for him.
cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so we have Young Swerve. I'll definitely check him out. I'm
Young
very
Swerve.
excited to listen
Yes.
to him.
Yes.
That's actually, before we move on, it's interesting that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that the visuals, because you said everything's on point,
Mm-hmm.
vocals, all that, and then the visuals, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is becoming increasingly important. But
Yeah.
how important is that? Would you say, like, for
Oh,
upcoming? Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you need talent. Your song needs to be good. That's first and foremost.
Mhm.
But even if it's lacking a little bit, like visuals are just so important. What do you like, especially in today's world? You got clout and all this other stuff, and it's just like the visual can draw you in. Like some people are like hands-on learners, some people are visual learners. So I think it's kind of the same thing in your consumer or just people who just like music in general. Like, you can have and I think, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but you've heard a song before and then you saw the video and you love the song. Like something I would compare it to, even though I don't think the video is that special, is Chief Keef released Earned It.
Mm.
Did the beat go off?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but like until I saw the video, I wasn't even thinking about that song.
Uh huh.
Not that the video was amazing, but it's just like, I don't know, visuals are just, they help tell the story too. So maybe you hear a song, you'd be like, oh, it's good. And then you see the video and they tell the story visually.
That's actually a really good
So,
point. That's a really good point, man. Yeah, like I've
and even
mm-hmm.
so, like even with artists like Flatbush Zombies, you know, their whole thing is like drugs and stuff. Like they can have trippy videos. They can, you know, like it's part of it.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Like I've always looked at artist videos and you know, certain artists especially, the video really makes the song come together or help understand it, and then it's like, damn, the song hits.
Right.
Yeah, but I never actually related that specifically to other artists to artists like up and coming artists. You know, I have
Right.
always seen visuals as important, but now that you say like that actually resonates with me in a different way. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think it helps for up and coming artists too. Is because like, what else can you bring to the table? You know.
Yeah. Who would you say after Young Swerve? And I know it's kind of
See,
tough.
I gotta be careful.
Oh, okay. We could make the list bigger if you want.
Well, I'll just name a few and then maybe,
Okay.
you know, I'll just end it.
Sure.
Man. Another artist I would say is Tajaya Gary. She's from Atlanta. I'm working with her a lot too. And that's another Manny manages her actually, my friend Manny who I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And you know, she's well rounded too. Like I wouldn't know how to describe her music because she kind of touches different bases. Like she can make one for the girls, she can make a club song, you know, she can freestyle, you know, and she kind of brings the visuals as well. So you know, she's kind of what do you call it? A social media influencer to a point. But yeah, she's got really good music. She works incredibly hard. You know, and she's got the whole package as well, I would say, and a great manager as well. Like, you know, I think she's going to be pretty well known fairly soon too. She's got a fan base already, so I think it's just a matter of time for her as well.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check all these artists out right after
Yeah.
this, 100%. All right, and then we got Lean. Lean would be
Yes,
the
Lean. Lean Chihiro from Paris, France. Yeah, I don't know. I could speak all day about her, but just to keep it short, like, you know, she's just very, I don't know. It's, you know, she's kind of into like modeling and fashion as well. So she kind of can bring those worlds together. And she's fairly successful in the fashion world too. So it definitely helps a lot. Like, you know, she was, what do you call it? Sponsored by Jordan, I believe the word is. So she got like, you know, Jordan stuff and they like put up man, I don't even know what you would call it. They had her like on the front of the Jordan store in Paris.
Oh, okay, cool.
So which is really dope.
That is very cool.
Yeah. She's walked in Paris Fashion Week before. Like, you know, we did the Coca-Cola commercial. She's done tons of stuff, like even before she met me. And just, you know, she's always growing. Like every song that I get is just better than the last one. And she's kind of learning slowly, but she's kind of learning to engineer a little bit as well, which I think helps her understand some things. But yeah, I'm so excited. I think there's no limit, I think, to where she'll go. You know, I might be a little biased, but I truly believe she's going to be monumental one day. So I'm excited about that.
Cool. And
for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
I guess, you know, just believe in yourselves, keep working, and everything else will come together. And if you need me, hit me up on my social media, at Solo Mixed on Instagram and at Solo_Riches on pretty much everything else. But yeah, I enjoy having another interview with you, bro. Like we gotta work on something.
Yeah,
it's overdue.
We do.
I gotta make more melodies so I can send you some. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Send me some beats. See what we can put together.